Governor.
Tonight, you know him for beatboxing, but tonight, last season's American Idol runner-up is on a soapbox.
I was forced to do it.
Blake Lewis dishes about how he claims the show's producers did him wrong. Plus, the Fox 12 investigators look into when teachers are calling in sick. You may be surprised at how much taxpayer money Oregon's biggest school district spends on substitutes. And he caused controversy a few years ago when he shot and killed a woman during a traffic stop. Now Officer Scott McAllister is named in another officer-involved shooting. But first, get ready for a big change.
I heard it's going to be like 95 this week. Looking forward to it.
It's time to break out the sunscreen. What you need to know tonight to beat the heat tomorrow. The story's first on Fox.
Live from Fox 12 Oregon, this is breaking news.
And good evening. We're following some breaking news tonight. The Portland Police CERT team is involved in some sort of activity at Northeast 82nd and Multnomah.
KPTV's Kevin Quarry is live tonight with the breaking details. Kevin, what can you tell us?
Well, Sean, I just got an update from Portland Police, and they tell me that this all kind of stems from a TriMet investigation that they think that they witnessed a drug deal at a TriMet Max platform. The people involved in that deal apparently took off, and Portland police officers believe that at least one of them is in this neighborhood here behind us. We are off of 82nd Avenue. They have several blocks of Multnomah blocked off right now with crime scene tape. There are dozens of Portland police officers out here. Police tell me that they believe one of the suspects broke into a home, then left that home. Officers have been using dogs out here to track that suspect. They think that the person may now be in another home. And neighbors told me just a little bit ago that they have seen things been going on since before 6:30 out here. And again, they say that Portland police have been using dogs to try and track the suspect throughout this neighborhood. Again, several blocks of Multnomah roped off with crime scene tape. And at this point, Portland police say they are looking for someone they believe was involved in a drug deal at a Max platform not far from here. This is, again, in the area near Northeast 82nd Avenue. So if you are planning on heading out in this area, you may want to avoid 82nd and Multnomah because, again, Portland police have this whole area roped off, and it appears that this call could be going on for quite some time. Reporting live in Northeast Portland, Kevin Kawari, the 10 o'clock news.
And stay tuned to Fox 12 for continuing coverage of breaking news. You can also stay up to date online at kptv.com.
Well, you probably heard about the huge jump in temperatures on the way. The forecast is calling for some record May heat. So what can you do now to stay ahead of the sweltering weather tomorrow? We have first live local weather team coverage on the big warm-up. We begin with KPTV Stephanie Kralovich live in Beaverton tonight. Steph?
Well, we have been talking about tomorrow's big warm-up for more than a week now. So as you can imagine, big stores like the Home Depot have been swamped with people looking for fans and air conditioners to prepare for the heat wave.
I wasn't expecting it to get that hot this soon in the year.
We still have more than a month of spring, but summer-like warmth is on the way.
It's supposed to get hot, really hot.
That it's going to be super hot in the 90s.
I think it's going to be about 95.
As soon as word of this mid-May heat wave got out, air conditioners started flying off the shelves of big box home improvement stores like Lowe's and Home Depot. You can spend anywhere from $10.99 to $599 to keep your home cool when the weather warms up.
I actually installed a exhaust fan in preparation to help my air conditioner cool the house.
Garden experts say people should also make preparations for their plants and flowers for tomorrow.
We try to get people to water early in the morning before the sun hits. Lessens the evaporation. Try not to water at night or in the middle of the day. Heat of the sun is really bad.
Amy Bell of Smart Gardens says the 20-degree jump in temperatures tomorrow could spell trouble for some plants.
Smaller items really should be brought inside so that they don't fry outside in the sun. Small pots dry up really quickly.
While the sizzling spring weather will require some extra measures around the house, most homeowners we spoke with say they don't mind low to mid-90s, especially in mid-May.
I'm so glad to have the rain gone. It's time.
The record high temperature for May 15th is 93 degrees. That record was set back in 2006. Reporting live from Beaverton tonight, Stephanie Kralovich, the 10 o'clock news.
Now, Portland's first weather at 10.
I'm Mark Nelson here in the First Live Local Weather Center. You could feel the change today, 71 degrees. That was a high temperature this afternoon. The big change was about midday. the clouds suddenly broke out to some sunshine, and everybody in the valley here in the low to mid 70s. Notice the coast in the low 60s. You folks have a big warm up as well. You're going to get in on the hot weather action. And east side, the Dalles, one of the warmer spots at 78. I don't think we're going to see 70s again until maybe the beginning of next week. Now, if you've been outside, you know it sure feels different this evening. It's a little bit humid, and it's definitely a whole lot warm. Temperatures still in the mid-60s here in the city. So Stephanie mentioned the record tomorrow is 93. That was set just 2 years ago. I think more likely the records on Friday and Saturday are going to fall. Those are just below the 90-degree mark, and at least one of those days we're going to go way above 90 degrees. Also, I think the bigger danger with this hot spell will be the cold rivers. We'll show you how shockingly cold those temperatures are on our area rivers and what you might do to be careful coming up over the weekend in the first live local forecast.
Stay tuned to Fox 12 for continuing coverage of the rising heat. Mark will be back a little bit later in this newscast with a look at your 7-day forecast. Plus, if you plan to cool off in the water, you need to know about a hidden danger. And you can always get the latest weather information on your computer on our website, kptv.com. Tonight, police in 2 cities are looking for Fox 12's most wanted, an armed robber who used a gun and pepper spray to hold up 2 banks. Police say the same man held up a credit union in Longview and a bank in Centralia yesterday evening. He was caught on camera at both places before he got away with a bag full of cash. KPTV's Deborah Gill is live in the Fox 12 mobile newsroom now with details. Deborah?
Wayne, police say the man wearing a ski mask like this walked into 2 banks within about an hour each other. At one place, he held up a gun, but he used pepper spray on the bank's employees and a customer. Tonight, an employee at the West Coast Bank in Centralia locks their doors for the night. Police say at about the same time last night, this man walked up to the locking doors but then left. Police say that would have been the 3rd bank he robbed.
Well, I don't like it at all. I, want to feel like I'm safe when I go to my bank or credit union, and from a safety perspective, I have concerns. Kelso police say at about 4:15, the man wearing a ski mask walked into the Fiber Federal Credit Union and demanded money. As you can see from this surveillance picture, the robber held up a gun but fired pepper spray at the credit union's employees and a customer.
I know how devastating it is to the girls and the guys that are here when something like that happens, and to get pepper sprayed, oh my gosh, that's just twice as bad.
He ran away with a bag full of cash. About an hour later, Centralia police say the same man walked into a Bank of America with the gun. This time, he demanded cash and fired the gun into the ceiling. Customers at the Longview Credit Union say seeing a security guard here today helps ease their fears.
Coming in and being, oh great, there's somebody here to protect us.
Customers tell us they've never felt they had to guard their safety when banking before.
No, I don't give it much consideration. I just expect those sort of things not to happen.
Now, the robber is described as a white man in his late 20s, 5'7" to 5'10", and about 200 pounds with brown eyes. He was wearing a shirt with vertical gray stripes, jeans, and white shoes. Now, police in both cities say he is not the same robber dubbed the pepper spray bandit that was hitting banks in that same area last year. But if you know who this man is or you know where he is, call Centralia or Kelso police. Reporting live tonight in the Fox 12 mobile newsroom, Deborah Gill, the 10 o'clock news.
Only on 12 tonight, clear pictures of 2 people who police say broke into an office building and ripped off businesses in broad daylight. Detectives in Tigard released surveillance video only to Fox 12. The couple was caught on camera at about 1 in the afternoon on Mother's Day near the Washington Square Mall. KPTV's Kevin Quarry spoke with people who work in the building. They want to know how 2 people got through the doors so easily.
At the end of the workday, hundreds of people file out of this Tigard office building, and tonight they're leaving with an uneasy feeling.
We've had a couple break-ins in the parking lot, but nothing in the interior that I'm aware of.
Tigard police say 2 burglars did hit inside the Lincoln Center Sunday afternoon, and detectives believe the pair was caught on camera. This surveillance video shows a man and a woman being stopped by a security guard. Officers say the couple was told to leave, but by that time they had already hit 2 shops inside. These pictures were taken at about 1 in the afternoon, and the timing is no surprise to employees.
I'm certainly not here. So I don't know. Usually if I come by on a Sunday to do anything, the place is pretty much empty.
Police say the pair ripped off a restaurant and this coffee stand, taking cash right out of the till. People who live nearby say they rarely hear about crime in this neighborhood.
Close to, businesses, but it's very secluded in this back little area, and I always thought Lincoln Center was really safe.
Employees say property managers routinely remind them to take precautions.
Very good about sending out warnings that don't allow access to someone that you don't know, whether they claim they lost their key card or whatever. Just don't allow access.
Workers now wonder how the burglars got in.
Tons of people work in this complex, so I mean, the chances of somebody being let go and still having their key card, that could happen too.
Employees say they'll now be extra careful, but still realize their building could again become a target.
There's crime everywhere. I'm not surprised that crime happens here. Why would we be immune to it?
That was Kevin Kawari reporting. Now, police say the man in the video may have also hit the Lincoln Center back in January. And they say the woman does have a distinguishing feature. She is missing at least one front tooth.
The 10 o'clock news is just getting started.
Coming up, Fox 12's Most Wanted hit a video store and robbed it at knife point in broad daylight. Do you know this man? We'll bring you the latest in the investigation.
How are you dealing with skyrocketing food and gas prices? Find out what other locals are doing in an exclusive Fox 12 survey.
The Fox 12 investigators show you the tax money as they track the spending of Oregon's biggest school district. You may be surprised where millions of your dollars are going.
You could earn cash and be on national television, but first you need to know how to ride a bike. Producers are bringing their casting call to Oregon. We'll bring you the details.
And he was last season's American Idol runner-up, and tonight Blake Lewis is mad. Hear why he says producers wronged him.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local. Here today.
I heard a couple shots.
Police investigation still underway here, removing several bags of evidence.
Watch Good Day Oregon tomorrow morning starting at 4:30.
Because some votes weren't counted, we were all left with a mess.
Under my watch, we'll always have elections you can trust. As your Secretary of State, I'll make sure that every vote is counted because every vote matters.
As Oregon's first woman Senate Majority Leader, Kate Brown delivered on our priorities. Join Governor Barbara Roberts, the Oregon League of Conservation Voters, and Oregon's teachers, and vote Kate Brown for Secretary of State.
Discover the joy of gardening at Fred Meyer.
The mystery is finally solved. What inspectors say is responsible for killing 6 sea lions near Bonneville Dam. That's coming up on the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
RoyalMoore.com and Mazda. Clicks. More cars in one place than any place in Oregon. Oregon's #1 volume Mazda dealer 6 years running. RoyalMoore.com. Come in and test drive a new Mazda today.
Since I got in the loop, it's life in the fast lane for me.
Since I got in the loop, I'm more interested in the big picture.
Since I got in the loop, I'm a better listener.
Get in the loop with Quest and join the community that's changing the way people connect with each other and the things they love to do.
Come on in. The technology is fine.
What are you waiting for?
Get in the loop.
Call, click, or come in to get in the loop with Quest.
I'm just a kid, but even I can see that Gordon Smith is afraid of you, Dad.
Bryn, what Gordon Smith is really afraid of is change, the type of change I'll bring to Washington.
And with a new Democratic president, too.
We'll be fighting for kids and families, not for the big special interests like Gordon Smith does.
And change means end the war.
Exactly the kind of change we need.
You go, Dad.
I'm Democrat Jeff Merkley, and Bryn and I approve this message.
Definitely.
RoyalMoore.com and Subaru. Clicks. More cars in one place than any place in Oregon.
RoyalMoore.com.
Subaru with all-wheel drive and all-star ratings. RoyalMoore.com. Save time and money.
RoyalMoore.com.
Fox Thursday, the 5th grader season finale saves the best for last.
How many continents border Antarctica? That's that snowy thing in the south.
Then, she's going for the first ever $1 million song. But does she know Milli Vanilli?
It's okay if we don't sing the song because they didn't.
Lyrics season finale.
Thursday at 8 on Fox 12 Oregon.
Fox 12's Most Wanted is a man who robbed a Hollywood video store in Milwaukee. A man robbed that store on Southeast McLaughlin Boulevard in broad daylight back on Monday. Deputies say the man showed a knife to the woman working there, then forced her to empty the safe. That robbery has some people reconsidering what they do to keep their valuables safe.
It's very scary because, you know, this is where we live, basically. This is our neighborhood, and to see that happen with a murder down the street, you know, a few months back with the gas station attendant, you know, the owner down there, it's a scary thing. It makes us look twice about our protocol for lockup.
Once again, we want to show you a sketch of the suspect. Cops say he's a white man with brown hair between 5'10" and 6 feet tall, weighs about 200 pounds. If you know anything, call police.
The new Carissa has become a landmark of sorts on the Oregon coast, but what remains of the ship is expected to move this summer. The only mark it'll leave is on Oregon's history. That freighter ran aground north of Coos Bay in February of 1999, and part of it is still stuck in the sand. But as KPTV's Jim Hyde explains, a crew finally has a plan to get it out.
When work starts next month, 2 big barges will be secured next to the wreckage of the stern section of the new Carissa, and a cable car will connect the construction platform on top of the dune.
Probably the most difficult part, just getting the barges in position. You know, we need good weather.
As an engineering challenge, the man in charge says removing the wreck is an 8 on a scale of 10. Even good four-wheel drive rigs can get stuck in the sandy access road. Working in the surf is dangerous, so is helicoptering onto the sloping stern. It's been a long, strange trip for the new Carissa to this point.
Yes, good morning. This is new Carissa. We are now aground here.
February 4th, 1999, new Carissa runs onto the beach. Several days later, its fuel tanks begin to leak, fouling the area. The plan to burn off the fuel weakens the ship. It breaks apart. Freeing the forward section and towing it to sea goes awry when the tow line breaks. It's recaptured off Waldport, towed out to sea, punctured with gunfire and torpedoed to the bottom. The stern's still here.
Well, it probably does need to come out, but it's kind of emotional to see it go.
A flurry of lawsuits included a $25 million payment by the ship's Japanese owners to the state for damage and removal. Some of that money's paying Titan Maritime to do the job. Working from barges to be fitted at a Coos Bay dock, crews transported by cable car will cut up the ship, haul pieces up to the barges with 3-inch diameter chain, and eventually barge it all back to Coos Bay.
It's the safest way. It's the most weather independent method we could come up with to get people back and forth.
So the big show on the north spit of Coos Bay this summer will be the removal of the wreckage.
There's a couple spots down here where we can cross over onto the beach. We're going to go down the beach, and we're actually going to work our way underneath the wires down where they can see the work up on top of the hill and also out on the ships.
The engineering contractors who will begin the job early in June say they hope to be done by the end of August. Reporting in Coos Bay, Jim Hyde, the 10 o'clock news.
When casting your vote 2008, you probably look for a candidate who will fight for the things that are important to you. And tonight, we know the 3 issues local families care about most. During an exclusive poll for the Portland Tribune and Fox 12, 24% of the families surveyed say they are concerned about the quality and funding of Oregon's public schools. 20% are dealing with the cost of things like food and gas, and 17% are concerned about the cost of quality health care. Davis, Hibbets, and Midge Hall Incorporated talked with 400 families living in Multnomah, Clackamas, and Washington counties for this poll. So as you saw, 2 of the top 3 issues dealt with the cost of living. That may not come as a surprise to you. 76% of those surveyed in our poll said that they believe the country is in an economic recession. And as KPTV's Sophie Sung reports, they are now changing the way they live to save some cash.
When it comes to penny pinching, what's the first expense you'd cut back on?
Probably drive less, shop better.
Yeah.
You know, sales a little more.
In a poll for the Portland Tribune and Fox 12, Davis, Hibbets, and Midge Hall Incorporated found that the #1 thing people are willing to do is drive less.
Maybe I could even get off my rear end and go ride my bike to work.
In fact, 75% of the 400 families who took the poll say they're willing to drive less to save gas because of the economy.
Definitely cut back on going out, travel.
Eating out less came in second with 67%, and bargain shopping came in third at 66%. Fox 12 political analyst Tim Hibbett says as the cost of food and gas continue to go up, local families are taking notice.
These costs are beginning to eat into our paycheck, they're beginning to eat into our lifestyle, and people are beginning to make changes.
62% of families say they're willing to cut back on entertainment and recreational activities, the same percentage as those who say they'd turn down the heat in their homes. And just about a quarter of people agree with this woman.
I used to drive, and now I take the bus to the max, and then I max in.
And say they'll use public transit more. But these changes may be slow in coming because Hibbett says when it comes to the economy, Oregonians seem to be more optimistic than others.
While Oregonians are much more concerned about the economy than they were a year ago, they aren't quite as concerned yet as voters in some other areas of the country.
Sophie Sohn, the 10 o'clock news.
And you can read much more on this story in tomorrow's edition of the Portland Tribune.
Still ahead tonight, 2 men are on the loose after holding up a local bar at gunpoint.
Well, coming up, people at that bar say that area has seen a lot of robberies. Can you help track down one of Fox 12's most wanted?
Plus, the pain at the pump is driving some people to crime, and a couple of thieves are caught on camera.
And here's one way to be living green that you probably haven't thought of, a solar bra. I haven't thought of it.
Me neither.
We'll see how it works.
Me either. Okay, hey, it's warm out there. The hot air has already arrived. Look at the freezing level right now, 15,000 feet. So when does that warm air work all the way down here to sea level? We'll let you know coming up, and also let you know how long it's going to stick around over the weekend as well.
For the first look at local news, traffic, and weather, we bring you the whole story first to 4, so you don't have to wait till after dinner to get caught up on the day's news. 4 o'clock news on
You're
Fox 12.
watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
With Comcast Video, Internet, and Phone, being a VIP isn't about status.
It's about choice.
I can get over 240 all-digital cable channels.
That includes high def, which costs up to $100 a year with other providers.
I love my Comcast On Demand.
I get over 10,000 viewing choices.
With packages starting at just $33 a month.
I got a free DVR when I became a 3-product customer.
Feels like VIP status to me.
No can openers?
No freezers?
No microwave?
You can see I'm making it from scratch, and I like that.
I can really taste the difference at Baja Fresh.
I think it's really great fresh food, grilled, seems like it's healthy.
I don't know anyone who doesn't like Baja Fresh.
Fire grilled is healthier.
The steak and chicken is 100% all fresh, all natural.
Wow.
Nothing beats fresh.
And try our 2 new chicken salad burritos with fresh, flame-grilled all-white meat chicken, just $5.95.
If it's not Baja Fresh, it's really not fresh.
Still tonight, see what makes the Fox 12 final cut.
Across the ocean, ready to help, how a Northwest man is hoping to get China's earthquake survivors back on solid ground.
Is your child's teacher playing hooky on your tax dollar? A surprising look at just how many local teachers are missing class.
And pictures you won't believe why a local man's arm hair just might go down in the record books.
These stories and more tonight in the final cut.
Rasmussen BMW would like to talk about a little problem we may have. Our reputation for exceptional customer service might lead some to the idea that a BMW from Rasmussen BMW will cost more. But the fact is, Rasmussen BMW always works with customers to provide great values on new and certified pre-owned BMWs, so you'll pay less than you'd expect. It's the Rasmussen difference. And you'll find it only at Southwest Jefferson at 20th and at RasmussenBMW.com.
We challenged the Bush administration when they wouldn't tell the truth about weapons of mass destruction, and they tried to destroy us for speaking out.
Ending the Iraq War means a lot to us, and that's why we're supporting Hillary. She has been a leader in pushing the administration for a serious exit strategy.
And Hillary has the strongest plan for bringing our troops home, starting within 60 days.
If you care about ending the war, we urge you to join us in supporting Hillary Clinton for president.
She'll get the job done.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
This news segment is brought to you by Safeway.
Inspiration for the party you have in mind. Safeway. Ingredients for life.
In tonight's Fox 12 Pump Patrol, police in Seattle are blaming the rising cost of fuel in part for a string of thefts at area restaurants. Take a look at one theft that was caught on camera. Investigators say the thieves are stealing used cooking grease, and they're brewing it for their own biofuel. The Standard Biodiesel Company of Seattle says it's losing about 30,000 gallons of oil each month, all because thieves are now helping themselves.
Well, believe it or not, there is a new kind of bra that's living green tonight. The international lingerie company Triumph is coming out with a very comfy-looking new solar bra. The bra has little solar panels that attach around your stomach, and they generate electricity. Manufacturers say the bra can create enough electricity to charge an iPod or even a cell phone. The solar bra is still just a prototype, and it is not expected to hit the stores anytime soon.
And I get to follow all those stories, apparently. Okay, let's talk weather. Coming up on Mount Hood, you know there's an avalanche warning up for the Cascades. How can that happen when it's so hot? We'll talk about that and also how warm it's going to be in the mountains and have your weekend getaway as well.
There is a big consumer recall you need to know about tonight. Hundreds of thousands of cars are under recall because of a problem that's already caused several crashes.
Plus, a local man wants to go down in the record books, but wait till you see how he plans to do it.
And if you know how to ride a bike, we have a chance for you to make some money and appear on national TV. More on the local casting call coming up.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Looking for a great local job? Here are a few Northwest jobs from Fox 12 Oregon, powered by JobDango.com. In Portland, River City Environmental is hiring plumbers, drain techs. In Beaverton, Prodex is hiring a national sales manager. And in Beaverton, Herzog Meyer is hiring auto sales reps. For details on these local jobs and thousands more, or to advertise your jobs, go to KPTV.com and click on Northwest Jobs at the left side of our homepage.
Our environment in peril. Oil and food prices out of control. Climate change wreaks havoc with deadly weather. One extreme thinks high taxes and crippling regulation is the solution. Another denies the problem even exists. There's a better way.
I believe that climate change is real.
It's not just a greenhouse gas issue. It's a national security issue. We have an obligation to future generations to take action and fix it.
I'm John McCain, and I approve this message.
I love it.
Yeah, this is the one. Dude, you're gonna need a new roof. Have you thought about that plumbing, electrical upgrades? Ouch.
She's gonna sink another 20 grand into that kitchen.
Would you rather spend your time fixing an old home or enjoying an energy-efficient, healthier, and better-built New Tradition home? The 20th anniversary New Tradition home includes granite countertops, stainless appliances, and is third-party certified. Up to a $10,000 value free.
Building homes for life.
An aspirin a day may help keep your blood pressure down, but only if you take it at a specific time. We'll explain just ahead on the 10 o'clock news. First, live local.
4-star crash rating for rollover.
Hello there. What if I told you I could get you that Jetta for just $198 a month, my little bouffant beauty? Don't be shy. It's got ABS brakes and 6 airbags standard. What do you say to that?
I would say sign me up.
With the engine roaring and the windows down, that hair of yours would look amazing.
Thank you. I think.
Lease a new Jetta for just $198 a month. Legendary Volkswagen value.
It's what the people want.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Oh, fine, thank you.
9, please.
Don't like stopping? Starting June 4th, you can fly Southwest Airlines' new nonstop service from Portland to Denver for just $69 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
Insulted by Greg McPherson's wholly negative and misleading campaign? You're not alone. The paper says McPherson should be ashamed and that he may lack the integrity and judgment to be Oregon Attorney General.
The truth? Only John Kroger is an experienced, effective prosecutor who went after mafia killers, drug kingpins, and Enron crooks. And John Kroger means change. He'll go after child abusers, corporate polluters, and consumer fraud. John Kroger. Integrity. The right choice for Attorney General.
We are learning more tonight about a murder investigation in Portland that led to an officer-involved shooting. We brought it to you as breaking news right here last night on the 10 o'clock news. A woman called 911 to say that she witnessed a murder at a home on Northeast 91st near Gleason. When officers showed up, they say that Jason Spoor confronted them at the door with a handgun. They say they ordered him to drop it several times, but he did not. They opened fire and he died at the scene. Well, police also noticed fire inside the house, and after crews put out the flames, police say they found another dead man inside. Neighbors tell us they never expected this level of violence.
That's pretty crazy, actually. We haven't had anything like that around here for a long time. Actually, that's pretty scary, especially in your own neighborhood.
We still do not know the name of the man found dead inside the house, but the two officers involved in the shooting are Timothy Bacon and Scott McCollister. McCollister is the officer who shot and killed Kendra James during a traffic stop 5 years ago.
Tonight, Ford is recalling hundreds of thousands of pickup trucks. The company is recalling some 2006 F-150s. There could be a hose problem that can affect the truck's braking power. Representatives for the company say people reported 11 crashes as a result of this problem. None of them were serious. Truck owners are asked to contact their local dealership to get their trucks checked out. In tonight's Health Watch, an aspirin a day can keep high blood pressure at bay, but it depends on what time you take it. According to a new study out of Spain, you should add the pill to your bedtime routine. Researchers found that an aspirin taken every evening helped control hypertension. However, a daily morning dosage did not lower blood pressure. Previous research indicates that aspirin can slow the production of hormones and other substances in the body that cause clotting, many of which are produced while the body is resting.
Fox 12 Chief Meteorologist Mark Nelson joins us now, and you're busy because it's going to get hot.
Yeah, it's kind of like the opposite of severe weather in the winter where we have all the snow and ice, but weather becomes more important, though, as we go towards the other extreme, especially since we haven't had any real warm weather this season.
Yeah, there have been no 80s, and we're going to jump right to the 90s.
Everybody is talking about this.
Yeah.
That's right, that's right. And you know what? Today was beautiful.
Yeah.
I was out there at the beach earlier. In fact, we have some pictures here. Oh, look at that.
Look at those legs.
Yeah, I was out there. Nothing like rolling up the old dockers, but
that would have been good on YouTube if you would have fallen down right there.
Yeah, I just wanted to frolic in the river.
But it was cold, though, right? Your feet were very cold.
It was cold. It was very cold, and that's part of the big story here, I think, is the cold rivers coming up. Okay, let's take a look at this. Water temperatures, I would call it dangerously cold because take a look at these numbers. On the Columbia, where I was, temperatures are in the low 50s, not too unusual for this time of the year. Willamette River actually slightly warmer. This is at Portland. Actually, this is at Newburgh, 55 degrees. Lower Sandy River, 45 degrees. I know a lot of folks head out there to Troutdale, 45-degree water. When I jumped in the polar bear exhibit back on New Year's Day, it was the polar plunge. It was 48 degrees, and I remember within less than a minute, I just felt like it was tough to reach for the steps. So just something like this could be very bad. I would not suggest jumping in any of these local rivers this weekend unless you have a wetsuit. And also, rivers will be rising, especially these rivers coming out of the Cascades. The Clackamas River above Estacada, 43 degrees, 46 on the lower Clackamas. Definitely trouble if we get a lot of people out there this weekend. You really want to stay out of the rivers. Yeah, wading a few inches in like I did, no big deal, but I would be very, very careful. Can't emphasize this enough because we've seen deaths in past years with this pattern in May and June. The hot weather hits, you want to head to the water, but the water's not ready for you this early in the season. It's not warm enough. Thursday through Saturday, there is an avalanche warning for the Mount Hood area. The reason is such sudden warming after about an inch of rain up there. Large areas of snow may come down. That does not include Timberline ski area. Timberline is the only ski area open this weekend now, actually until fall. But with all that snow possibly coming down through some avalanche chutes, it could even move out beyond those avalanche chutes into open terrain down below. So just be careful if you're in avalanche terrain around Mount Hood this weekend. It doesn't include the highways either, by the way. So temperatures mainly in the 60s right now. It's going to be a mild night tonight, even with clearing skies. 55 here in Portland. Even the coldest parts of the metro area probably stay above 50 degrees, 50 in Hillsborough. But take a look at the satellite picture. You can just see what's going on. This huge dome of hot air developing right over the top of us. That storm that was out there looked threatening yesterday. It's just shredded apart, moved off to the north. High pressure is right over us. The atmosphere above us, 10, 15,000 feet, about as warm as it's going to get. So what makes it so hot down here? It's a change in the wind direction the next 2 days. We had a slight onshore flow today. Tomorrow goes more northerly, and then as we get into tomorrow evening and then into Friday especially, we get that east wind off the Cascades, that offshore flow just like a Santa Ana wind. That wind comes down the Cascades, the air compresses and warms, and by Friday, that really pushes the temperatures up. So tomorrow, I'm thinking upper 80s across most of the metro area, and then into the mid to maybe upper 90s on Friday, and that hot weather pushes to the coast. So in the valley, Saturday will still be warm. We'll lose the east wind, but then a cooling trend begins on Sunday. This weekend in general, it's going to be like a summer weekend. The gorge, not much wind on Saturday, temperatures in the mid-90s, but cooling air moving through the gorge on Sunday makes for great windsurfing and temperatures in the lower 80s. And east side, your heat just gets going Saturday. So 90s there and still near 90 east of the Cascades coming up on Sunday. That'll be the first hot weekend of the year, in fact, anywhere across the Northwest. Now for tomorrow in the gorge, 91 at the Dalles, 88 at Hood River. Pretty much light winds there at the east end of the gorge, 82 at John Day and 80 at Burns. In the Cascades, check out these temperatures. Timberline, 66 tomorrow. That's with, what, about 15 feet of snow on the ground, 74 at Government Camp. So the snowpack is really going to start melting finally. It's been very delayed this year. And west of the Cascades, the coast, beautiful tomorrow. Tomorrow will not be your hottest day. It'll definitely be on Friday. But mid to upper 70s at the beaches, probably right around 90 or just below here in the western valleys. A gusty north wind will temper that heat as well. West side of town, Hillsborough, about 89, 90 at Tualatin, and 87, I should say, at Lake Oswego. And you'll notice that northerly breeze blowing tomorrow. It'll be a light east wind through the gorge. But once again, just about all of us get the east wind on Friday. Now, 7 a.m. here in the city, 55. You'll notice even at midday, it won't be hot tomorrow. The temperatures really warm up towards the late afternoon, 88 degrees. And then look at the high temperature coming up here Friday, about 96. And notice the low temperature is much warmer Friday and Saturday as well. So those 2 days, Friday and Saturday, should both be records. Ocean air pushes back in, though. Sunday should be just about perfect, a high around 80. And then it's back to normal. Temperatures in the upper 60s to right around 70 Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Live from Fox 12 Oregon, this is breaking news.
Police are on the scene in Northeast Portland tonight. They're searching for a suspect in a drug deal. We'll have a live update on our breaking news coming up.
Tonight, adding up the cost in the final cut, including a truant teenager who cost her dad his freedom. How much is it costing you, the taxpayer, when Portland teachers take the day off? The Fox 12 investigators are on the case. And how much do you think it will cost to see this year's American Idols on tour in Portland? We will tell you how to get tickets starting this weekend. The final cut is next.
Then, new at 11, the cost of an earthquake can add up quickly. Which Northwest city may have to make some major changes to be ready for the next big one? And don't forget, you can send your news tips, video, and pictures in through our website, kptv.com.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Jeff Merkley banned fundraising while the legislature is in session. But when he needed money for his faltering campaign, he broke his rule and took thousands from special interests, from lobbyists. The Albany Democrat Herald said Merkley sets a poor example by flouting the rules as soon as they hurt him. Jeff Merkley, more of the same when it's time for a change.
I'm Gordon Smith, and I approve this ad.
Now for a limited time, come down and create your own Taste of Old Chicago. We're talking a tasty 3-course meal deal featuring savory new dishes and made-from-scratch favorites. So, what's a Taste of Old Chicago? Your choice of starter, your choice of entree, and your choice of dessert. That's 3 delicious courses for one unbelievable price. But hurry in today, because a deal this good won't last long. Old Chicago. Eat, drink, be yourself.
We need a bigger home, but until we sell this one, we're stuck.
Ready to sell? It's time for RE/MAX. RE/MAX agents have the experience to get the job done in today's market. So when you're ready to sell, or buy, or both, why settle for anyone else? Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX.
Could you be blamed for your child's success? Why one girl's father is going to jail because of her schoolwork? Plus everything else you need to know next in the Fox 12 Final Cut.
We are absolutely in a race against time. Cancer is this dread disease and everyone fears it, but we're on the cusp of changing that. I come to work every day thinking we're this close, and if I just do that, we're going to get there, have a breakthrough. You can't tell a patient to be patient. They need something today. There is no question that we can defeat cancer. What it requires is knowledge. If you understand what's broken, you can fix it.
You put a bet in it, it's a bet.
Hi, LJ, local jobs. What is that? Do I smell frustration? Do we like frustration here? Heck no, LJ! You need a better job, huh? Well, turn that frown upside down because I am a specialist in the local job market here.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Here, take this. Rock this job. Be the best darn Fred you can be.
It's Phil.
Even better.
OregonLive.com, your local team for jobs and everything Oregon.
We challenged the Bush administration when they wouldn't tell the truth about weapons of mass destruction. And they tried to destroy us for speaking out.
Ending the Iraq War means a lot to us, and that's why we're supporting Hillary. She has been a leader in pushing the administration for a serious exit strategy.
And Hillary has the strongest plan for bringing our troops home, starting within 60 days.
If you care about ending the war, we urge you to join us in supporting Hillary Clinton for president.
She'll get the job done.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
Stand by the final cut in 3, 2, 1, cue 'em.
The final cut begins with developing news out of China tonight, where the Portland-based relief agency Mercy Corps is expanding its efforts to help earthquake survivors. Mercy Corps sent a Seattle aid worker to the area where he will join 2 other officers from the Beijing office. The organization's also planning to start a program that hires people to help with the cleanup. In return, those people get jobs and a sense of purpose. Mercy Corps is also accepting donations that will be used in China, where almost 15,000 people are confirmed dead. That number is expected to rise. If you would like to help, we do have a link at kptv.com. In news across America tonight, if you've been worried about gas and food prices, federal lawmakers have approved 2 bills that touch on those issues. First, Congress voted overwhelmingly to order the Bush administration to stop depositing oil in the National Reserve. Lawmakers say the impact for consumers will be modest at best, but they say they think it's a good first step. While the president opposes the legislation, the White House says he is expected to sign it. Also, the House approved a 5-year farm bill by a veto-proof margin. It includes a $10 billion increase in spending on nutrition programs like food stamps. The bill also extends subsidies for agriculture producers. An Ohio teenager didn't hit the books. Now her father is paying the consequences after she failed to earn her high school equivalency diploma. A judge sentenced Brian Gegner to about 6 months in jail. They say for contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Last year, he was ordered to make sure his then 18-year-old daughter, Brittany, who has a history of truancy, received her GED. Well, the teenager says it's her responsibility. She says her father should not be blamed. Brittany also argues that she was truant while living with her mother.
The final cut goes local now, where last call came early at one Portland bar when 2 men came in and robbed the place. Happened at the Ship Ahoy Tavern near Southeast 28th and Gladstone about 1:30 this morning. Air 12 flew over the scene later in the day. Officers say that the men were wearing ski masks when they walked in and demanded money at gunpoint. It's not clear how many customers, if any, were inside at the time. So far, police have not tracked down those robbers, and it was business as usual at the bar today.
I can't believe it. They've been robbing a lot of places down there, but gee, we haven't had anything around like this for a long time. I think it was robbed a few years back, but...
No one was hurt in that robbery. We know tonight what killed 6 sea lions near Bonneville Dam. Results of an investigation show the sea lions died from heat prostration, which means that their organs failed as a result of overheating. For some reason, the animals were trapped in their cages and couldn't cool off in the water. Experts say attack wounds found on one of the sea lions probably came from another sea lion.
Live from Fox 12 Oregon, this is breaking news.
We do have an update now on tonight's breaking news. Portland police are at Northeast 82nd and Multnomah, and they're searching for a suspect in a drug deal. KPTV's Kevin Quarry is live tonight with an update. Kevin?
Yeah, that's right. And Shauna, I'm told now that they believe that suspected drug dealer may be holed up inside a woman's home, and they have that house surrounded right now. Police are trying to make contact with that woman and determine if she is indeed inside the home and if that suspect may be in there as well. Now, as we've been saying, this all stems from a TriMet investigation. TriMet officers actually witnessed, they say, a drug deal at a Max platform near here, and they say the dealer ran into this neighborhood. Now, take a look at some video from earlier tonight. They say that the dealer ran in here, went into one home, and police say that the owner of that home came out and flagged down officers, and the suspect then took off, and they believe may have gone into this other home. They've been using dogs to search for the suspect. They also are using an airplane that has a thermal imaging camera on it. That camera, of course, is being used to scan this neighborhood and try to determine if indeed that suspect is somewhere outside, perhaps hiding under some bushes or elsewhere. But police tell me that this investigation could be going on for quite some time here this evening. And if you're in this area, you're going to want to avoid the area of 82nd and Multnomah. Of course, we'll have another update coming up on the 11 o'clock news. For now, reporting live in Northeast Portland, Kevin Kawari, the 10 o'clock news.
Oregon's largest school district is spending millions of your tax dollars to cover for teachers who get marked absent themselves. Teacher absenteeism is an expensive issue that's getting more attention around the country. KPTV's Mark Lyszewski says the Portland Public School District is keeping close watch on teachers who miss roll call.
Oh, it gets very chaotic sometimes. Yesterday, we had kids running around the class, doing all kinds of random things.
Fifth grader Mikey Van Sant usually notices a big change in his classmates' behavior when a substitute teacher shows up in class.
When your regular teacher's not there, you don't know what to expect, so you tend to act up when there's not a regular teacher there.
And the Fox 12 investigators found that more and more teachers are missing their own classes in Portland public schools. The district released the peak days for teacher absences last year. All of them turned out to be Fridays, with nearly 400 missing teachers on the highest day. That fact looked a little suspicious to Portlander Bob Clark.
I think they're taking advantage of the good nature of their employers. Sounds like brown bottle flu.
I don't think in general the illness and personal leaves are being abused in any way.
Chief Human Resources Officer Richard Clark says teachers are allowed up to 15 days off for everything from illness to paid family leave. In-service and school needs sessions required by the district account for more than 25% of why substitutes get called in. President Jeff Miller with the Portland Association of Teachers believes that these numbers are not all that alarming to him, and he also thinks they're not out of line compared to other professions. So just how much is the district spending annually to pay for all those subs?
About $500,000.
How does close to $7 million sound?
Oh, wow. For substitutes?
That's how much the district used from the general fund for subs in 2007, and you can see that number is on the rise since 2005.
It's a number that has been very minor in its increase over the last 3 years, and it's wisely spent money. Our substitute teachers must meet the same professional licensing and credentialing standards that our core teachers must meet. And for that, we pay more money for that.
Clark says the district compiles quarterly reports on teacher absenteeism.
Because we know it has an impact on student achievement.
The district is exploring how to bring professional development to the teachers and keep them on campus.
We have areas in which we believe we need to do a better job at coordinating our activities.
We need to look into that and say, you know, what's going on.
Many parents hope Portland Public Schools will stay vigilant and make sure more of its 3,000 plus teachers stay in class. In Portland, Mark Lyszewski, the 10 o'clock news.
Now, district administrators are considering the possibility of giving principals and teachers more control over spending at their schools. Other districts around the country have enacted that policy and saw the need for substitutes drastically drop. Now, two of the biggest absence days for teachers last year were February 16th and May 18th. February 16th was the Friday before President's Day, and that's when teachers had the Monday off. 386 teachers didn't work on May 18th. That was a pretty nice day to have off because the high temperature that day was 74 degrees.
New at 11, hit by thieves for the second time in less than a month. What local business owners are doing to protect themselves from one of Fox 12's most wanted. Pulled from the water after their boat capsized. See the Coast Guard rescue caught on camera that happened right here in the Northwest. Also accused of making funny money that could have ended up in your wallet. We have the high-tech setup the suspected counterfeiters used to make millions. Plus, he is pedaling through the sky. Why one man spent a day riding 80 feet up there for his son. That is coming up new tonight at 11.
You know, the judges always say the American Idol competition comes down to song choice, but tonight one former contestant says he didn't have a choice at all during the finals. You might remember Blake Lewis from last year's competition. He lost to Jordan Sparks, but he says the final show wasn't really very fair. Lewis says he fought with producers because they wouldn't let him put his own stamp on the final song.
I kind of got screwed at the end because they wouldn't let me
do what I was doing the whole entire show. So, I mean, I had beef with the producers because, you know, they made me sing this really crappy song that I hated, and they wouldn't let me, remix it.
Yeah, and Lewis is known for his beatboxing flair. He says the song really did not reflect his character. Well, after the next American Idol is crowned next week, you may find yourself facing some Idol withdrawals. Don't worry, though. We know The Cure, the top 10, will go on tour this summer. You can see them live on Friday, July 11th at 7 p.m. in the Rose Garden. Tickets go on sale on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. They range in price from between about $40 to close to $70.
You can be a part of the buzz in Hollywood, especially if you ride a bike. Trek Bicycles is looking for people to be in a nationally televised commercial. If you get the part, you'll get $500. Here are the details. Auditions are happening in Portland tomorrow and Friday. You have to call that specific number on your screen to schedule an appointment. We do have more information on our website at kptv.com, and you have to bring your own bike. Well, here's a strange story. A local man's trying to break the record for having the longest arm hair. Can you believe it? Woody Woodall says that one of his arm hairs is more than 5 inches long. In fact, he says the hair is 5.5 inches to be exact. He claims the current record holder's arm hair measured 5.3 inches, so who knows? Plans to submit this strand of hair for a shot at the Guinness Book of World Records. Good luck, Woody. And that is tonight's Final Cut.
All right, coming up, Fox 12 Unscripted, we'll talk to a local man who's just written a book on meth, and you won't believe the response it's getting.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Fox 12 News when you want it on KPTV.com.
With streaming video on demand from the #1 news station in town.
With the latest weather information so you can plan your day.
Plus local updates when news happens day or night.
And extended coverage of stories you won't find on other websites. Go to KPTV.com for news that's first, live, local.
Because some votes weren't counted, we were all left with a mess.
Under my watch, we'll always have elections you can trust. As your Secretary of State, I'll make sure that every vote is counted because every vote matters.
As Oregon's first woman Senate Majority Leader, Kate Brown delivered on our priorities. Join Governor Barbara Roberts, the Oregon League of Conservation Voters, and Oregon's teachers, and vote Kate Brown for Secretary of State.
The #1 movie in the world is the best reviewed movie of the year. Iron Man, rated PG-13.
At Sleep Country's Dollar Box Spring event, $1 under a mattress adds a matching box spring to selected Simmons, Sealy, Spring Air, and Beauty Rest mattresses. The Dollar Box Spring event ends soon at Sleep Country.
Yeah, grocery outlet sells major brand name groceries at prices so low it's like moving back in with your parents. Only no one will make you eat your vegetables, but if you want, we do carry fresh veggies too. Grocery outlet, bargains only.
Why one man spent an entire day pedaling his bike 80 feet above the ground. Coming up on the 11 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Jeep is giving you protection from high gas prices.
Announcing the Jeep $2.99 gas guarantee.
Right now, when you buy or lease most Jeep vehicles, you'll pay just $2.99 a gallon for gas or diesel in each of the next 3 years for up to the first 12,000 miles per year. It's our $2.99 gas guarantee.
Jeep is coming through for you with relief at the pump, just when you need it most. Hurry to your Jeep dealer today for the $2.99 gas guarantee. Let's refuel America.
I'm Mike Erickson, and I approve this message.
Kevin Mannix's smears against Mike Erickson? The Associated Press says Mannix gave no evidence. He's done it before. A previous Mannix ad was false and taken off the air. Newspapers also caught Kevin Mannix red-handed, playing fast and loose with campaign cash, paying himself $838,000. Kevin Mannix, nasty smears and shady personal enrichment. A negative campaign to hide his tax-raising record.
Next time on Better, see how you can win a trip to Hawaii. Plus, does the Arizona moon really have healing powers? Tomorrow at 9 on Fox 12 Oregon.
Time now for Fox 12 Unscripted.
And with us is local anti-drug crusader Don Sutton, who has written this book about meth. It's called Understanding Meth, the Epidemic. Don, what's in that book?
It's a good, clean self-help book for people from 9 to 99. It's a book that it explains when meth was first introduced to the population and where it's taken the population to, and it even covers a relapse and recovery.
What has been the reaction to the book so far?
The book's selling as fast as they can print it. A lot of young people. The book, again, it's for people from 9 to 99, but it's the 13 to 17-year-old students are the ones that I'm hearing the most of. Getting good reports of it circulating through local high schools.
Don, we haven't heard a lot about drug labs lately, but quickly, is meth still a big problem?
Meth, I went to a meeting last night with the Oregon Partnership, and meth is still the #1 drug addiction in the schools and in society.
Well, we've counted on you in the past to give us information. Now the whole nation can read this book. If you would like to read it at home, we do have a link at our website at kptv.com. Don Sutton, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
I'm Kevin Kawari, live on Breaking News in Northeast Portland. There's been a major development in the search for a suspected drug dealer. We will have that information coming up, new at 11.
Also new at 11, your child could be at risk from identity thieves, why you might want to keep an eye on their credit report.
And I'm Mark Nelson here in the First Live Local Weather Center. Things pretty quiet out there for now, but that hot east wind is coming back. We'll talk about that and a 7-day forecast for the coastline in just a few minutes.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
This news segment is brought to you by your local Northwest Dodge dealers.
You know, I was 350 pounds and I needed to lose weight. It wasn't an option anymore. I've lost 130 pounds. Inch-wise, I've lost almost 6 feet. I remember walking past the mirror and I stopped and I started crying and I called Kelly on the phone and I said, guess what? And he goes, what? I said, I'm pretty. Life is fun. It's unbelievable.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
So I'm here to tell you the truth. We could suspend the gas tax for 6 months, but that's not going to bring down gas prices long term. You're going to save about $25, $30 or half a tank of gas. That's typical of how Washington works. There's a problem. Everybody's upset about gas prices. Let's find some short-term, quick fix that we can say we did something even though we're not really doing anything. We cannot deliver on a better energy policy unless we change how business is done in Washington. We got to go after the oil companies and look at their price gouging. We've got to start using less oil, and that means raising fuel efficiency standards on cars and developing alternative fuels. That's the real, honest answer to how we're going to solve this problem. That's what you need from a president. Somebody's going to tell you the truth.
LivePDX.com is really thorough. I think it's a great way to get to know the local scene. I haven't seen anything like it in Portland. I'm going to go back to it a bunch. I loved it.
It's time for Fred Meyer Founders Days, our best sale of the year. You'll save store-wide. Solid flats of annuals are just $9.99 during Founders Days at Fred Meyer.
I'm just a kid. But even I can see that Gordon Smith is afraid of you, Dad.
Bryn, what Gordon Smith is really afraid of is change. The type of change I'll bring to Washington.
And with a new Democratic president, too.
We'll be fighting for kids and families, not for the big special interests like Gordon Smith does.
And change means end the war.
Exactly the kind of change we need.
You go, Dad.
I'm Democrat Jeff Merkley, and Bryn and I approve this message.
Definitely.
12 is pleased to offer your favorite Fox Network programs in high definition. Experience a new dimension in television on Fox 12 Oregon and Comcast Channel 712.
It's time for Fred Meyer Founders Days, our best sale of the year. You'll save store-wide. Beef ribeye steaks or colossal white prawns are $4.88 a pound during Founders Days at Fred Meyer.
Now on Fox 12 Oregon, this is the 11 o'clock news.
Tonight, is your local convenience store safe from Fox 12's Most Wanted? We'll show you which 7-Eleven was hit twice by an armed robber and what local business owners are doing to protect themselves.
Also, they're accused of making millions in bogus cash for the past several years. We will take you inside their high-tech, high-quality operation.
Plus, runaway machinery on the streets of Washington. See the out-of-control crane caught on camera when we take you to the edge.
Live from Fox 12 Oregon, this is breaking news.
And we want to keep you updated on some breaking news we've been following out of Northeast Portland. The Portland Police CERT team's been called to the Northeast 82nd and Multnomah area to search for a suspect in a drug deal. KPTV's Kevin Kawari is live on the scene for us. Kevin, obviously, if this were a simple drug deal, the CERT team probably wouldn't be out there. There must be more to this, right?
Right. Well, Wayne, the big concern now is that officers believe the suspect may have run into someone's home. Now, we were just told moments ago that the woman's home they believe the suspect went into, she has actually come out of the house and is safe. Now, officers say they still aren't sure where the suspect is. He may be hiding inside the house or he may be elsewhere in this neighborhood, so they are still looking for the suspect. Now, take a look at some video from earlier tonight. As we've been mentioning, this all stems from a bust at a Max platform. We're told that TriMet officers witnessed a drug deal go down. They tried to grab the suspect in that drug deal, and he took off. He took off running into this neighborhood, went into one home. Officers say the person inside that home came out and flagged down cops. Then the suspect, they believe, ran out of the house and may have run to another home, this woman's home. And again, as we just mentioned, that woman has come out and she is safe. But again, they are still looking for the suspect. Neighbors out here are on edge. And we just talked to one moments ago. Here's what he had to say.
That scares me, you know. I mean, I don't know if the guy's got a gun, if he's got a knife, you know. I go to work every day. I just want to come home and, that's got to be sketchy. It scares me. I don't like the fact somebody's out here trying to run in somebody's house. I don't mind. Hey, man, if you did what you did and you got to run. But, don't bring me into it.
Now, again, Portland police still looking for the suspected drug dealer. They apparently will go into that home and will look through the home. They say it is possible that he is hiding inside that house or, again, is somewhere else in this neighborhood. They are using a plane that has a thermal imaging camera on it to scan this whole neighborhood and see if the man could be hiding somewhere outside. This investigation, though, could be going on for quite some time tonight. So if you're in this area, steer clear of the area of Northeast 82nd and Multnomah. Several blocks still roped off with crime scene tape out here. Reporting live in Northeast Portland, Kevin Kawari, the 11 o'clock news.
Thank you, Kevin. Now here's a look at our other top stories at 11.
The Portland area is preparing for a mid-May heat wave. We've been talking about the 90-plus temperatures in the forecast for tomorrow for more than a week now. So as you can imagine, stores like the Home Depot have been swamped with people looking for fans and air conditioners. You can spend anywhere from $10.99 to $599 to keep your home cool. The record high for tomorrow, May 15th, is 93 degrees. That record was set back in 2006. Reporting from Northwest Portland tonight, Stephanie Krolovich, the 11 o'clock news.
Tonight, police in two cities are looking for one of Fox 12's most wanted, an armed man who used a gun and pepper spray to hold up two banks. Kelso police say at about 4:15 yesterday, a man wearing a ski mask walked into the Fiber Federal Credit Union and demanded money. As you can see from this surveillance picture, the robber held up a gun but fired pepper spray at the credit union's employees and a customer. He ran away with a bag full of cash. About an hour later, Centralia police say the same man walked into a Bank of America with the gun. This time, he demanded cash and fired the gun into the ceiling. Now, police say he is not the same man dubbed the pepper spray bandit who was hitting several banks in that same area last year. But if you know who this man is or know where he is, call Kelso or Centralia police. In the Fox 12 mobile newsroom tonight, Deborah Gill, the 11 o'clock news.
Washington County deputies are looking for one of Fox 12's most wanted tonight after a second robbery at a 7-Eleven. Detectives say the robber came into the store on Cornell Road in Saltzman at about 2 o'clock in the morning armed with a knife. Deputies say he held up the clerk before running out the door with cash. Now, Fox 12 told you about a similar robbery. It happened at the exact same store earlier this month. Some area business owners say they're now taking greater precautions, even considering arming themselves to protect against the robbers. Deputies cannot say whether the same man is responsible for both crimes. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Washington County Sheriff's Office.
Time now for our top three national stories. We begin in Florida, where a man is being held as a suspect in connection with a Florida fire that started with a Molotov cocktail. Officers arrested Brian Crowder today. He's accused of tossing a glass bottle filled with gas into the woods. Now police want to know if he had anything to do with several other wildfires that have damaged dozens of buildings. Suspected counterfeiters are under arrest in California. Agents with the Secret Service say they circulated nearly $7 million worth of bogus cash over the past 2 years. Police say the accused ringleader of the operation had a full-scale counterfeit manufacturing plant in his house, including laser printers and cutting instruments. They also say they found bags full of shredded funny money that they say just wasn't up to their standards. Investigators say the counterfeiters printed $150,000 in cash every 2 or 3 weeks. The father of a cancer survivor took the skies above Denver for his son. Eric Miller rode 80 feet above the ground for a full 24 hours to bring awareness to cancer funding. Although he is now cancer-free, Miller's son did have a brain tumor that caused him to go blind. Miller braved the heights and also a snowstorm during that ride.
At our top 3 international stories, a foreign exchange student is dead after a helicopter crashed into him on the ground in British Columbia. Police say the student from Kenya just happened to be at the wrong place when that chopper crashed. Police also say he may have been listening to music and just wasn't able to hear the chopper as it headed right at him. 3 others on board also died. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused that crash. People in China are doing everything they can to help earthquake victims. Hundreds showed up to donate blood at a mobile unit set up in Beijing. Officials say that blood will come in handy as survivors are pulled from the rubble. Today, rescuers pulled a pregnant woman alive from her collapsed apartment building. The death toll now stands at nearly 15,000, and that is expected to rise. A mall in Israel is severely damaged tonight after a rocket slammed into it. The rocket hit the mall's 3rd floor, and officials believe it came from the Gaza Strip. At least 14 people were hurt in that attack and had to be treated at the scene. Rescuers helped several others stuck under the rubble of the building.
Now to our top 3 Northwest stories. Hundreds of older buildings in Seattle may soon have to undergo some changes in case of an earthquake. A survey conducted for the city found that nearly 1,000 buildings are at risk of collapsing during a quake. Most are those older brick and concrete commercial buildings which could be forced to have seismic reinforcement. Experts say that would lower the death rate, though, in the next big quake. The city's working to set some guidelines for all of their buildings. A bar owner in Washington is using a loophole to get around the state's smoking ban. The county took him to court saying he was breaking the law that bans smoking in public places. Well, that's when a judge suggested that if he ran a private club, charged a membership fee, and used volunteers instead of employees, then smoking in his club would be legal. So that's exactly what he did. However, he'll be back in court this summer to see if another judge agrees or holds him in contempt. The U.S. Coast Guard caught a rescue off the Olympic Peninsula on camera. Rescuers plucked 3 people from the waters near La Push, Washington. People on nearby charter boats pulled those 3 men from the water when their boat capsized yesterday morning. The boat was just one of many taking part in the halibut fishing derby in fog and also 13-foot swells. Rescuers tried to save a 71-year-old man as 2 helicopters and a Coast Guard boat raced to the scene, but he did die at a hospital in Forks.
Now, Portland's first complete forecast at 11 from your first live local weather team.
I'm Mark Nelson here in the First Live Local Weather Center. Well, today, finally, the skies broke up this afternoon, some sunshine, and it really did start feeling warmer. Part of the reason it felt warmer today, along with the temperature, well, actually being warmer, is that the humidity was definitely up. It may have felt a little bit humid. That's because we had all the moisture around. But that moisture is going to go away quickly because things are going to heat up big time, and it's going to dry out quite a bit. 71 in Portland. That was a high today. A little warmer down the valley. The clouds kind of cleared from south to north today. That's why it was warmer to the south and cooler up to the north and east side. Most of you up in the 70s today, headed for 80s and some 90s tomorrow. Now, let's talk record highs. Today's record high for the day, 86 degrees. Obviously, we didn't get near that. Tomorrow's is 93. This was almost the exact same weather pattern just 2 years ago on this date that's setting up here for the next few days. But Friday and Saturday, these 2 days here, the record highs are just slightly under 90 degrees. I think we'll break both of those. Sunday, I don't think so, because I think by Sunday we'll be back down around 80 degrees. So current temperatures, it's staying mild out there if you've been outside walking the dog or just taking a walk. It smells good, lots of things blooming out there, but nice and mild. Temperatures still right around 60 degrees. We'll only end up in the mid-50s again in Portland tonight. Actually, it's a little cooler than last night, but still above average by far for this time of the year. In fact, everybody in the metro area is going to stay pretty much clear, and pretty mild. Look at the big curve of clouds out here. It's a big, what we call kind of a blocking ridge of high pressure in the upper atmosphere. Everything is now set in place for a big hot spell here in the upper atmosphere. Now what we have to do to get hot weather is to switch our wind flow from onshore, weak onshore today, to northerly or slightly northeasterly tomorrow. And then by Friday, it completely switches around. This high pressure will be centered to the east. Air will be blowing from the east to the west. That's over the Cascades. And when the air comes down the Cascade west slopes, just like Santa Ana winds in California, that air compresses and warms, and that turns us into a hot weather pattern. So that kind of starts tomorrow. So tomorrow, well up into the upper 80s, big jump in the temperatures, and then probably another 8-degree jump coming up on.
Handmade, home baked. That's Papa Murphy's. We can do that.
Final phase means nothing stays. The bankruptcy liquidation going out of business sale at Wicks Furniture in the Portland and Salem areas is now in the final phase. Time is running out on your final chance at once-in-a-lifetime going out of business prices. The selection is still huge and prices are slashed on all fine furniture, grandfather clocks, and oriental rugs. Shop till you drop. Wicks can't be beat. Won't be beat. No way, no how. 70% off every oriental rug. Buy it today. Take it today. But if you snooze, you lose. The final phase means the lowest prices yet at the bankruptcy liquidation going out of business sale at Wicks Furniture.
I'm just a kid. Even I can see that Gordon Smith is afraid of you, Dad.
Bryn, what Gordon Smith is really afraid of is change. The type of change I'll bring to Washington.